Yeah, a warm welcome here to our booth. This year is a very special year for Truma. We've got our 75th anniversary, 75 years of passion, innovation, spirit, family, business and partnership. But before I reveal too much for you, I would like to clarify one or two organizational matters. You have the opportunity to ask some questions right after our three presentators. Who's gonna speak tonight? We have Alexander Bottrich, our co-CEO, will talk about the 75 years of Truma. Thomas Steil, our product manager for air conditioning systems. And Markus Heringer, our managing director for Truma Gerätetechnik. He will give us some future insights at the end. So, okay, Alex, let's start. And we have a little surprise for you. Therefore is Messe Düsseldorf here. Welcome.
What can I say? 75 years of Truma and Mr. Bottrich, a long-term partnership with Messe Düsseldorf. We are not that old with Caravan Salon. We're 63 years, 63rd edition, I can say, but we have a long partnership. And yeah, we want to say thank you for the partnership. And yeah, I like to send you the congrats of Messe Düsseldorf, of the whole company, to your jubilee, and say thank you. And want to say to the next 75 years of partnership. Thank you very much.
That's good. Thank you very much, Mr. Koske. That's fantastic. Thank you so much.
A small cake you can share with your whole team. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Anyone else for the photo? Markus?
Stefan, what we do? That's perfect. Like this. Look at me. Okay. First for my colleague here. Once please for me. Thank you very much. And please stay for a second for the colleague. Thank you. Recht herzlichen Dank. Dankeschön.
Dankeschön. Sehr schön. Können wir das hier? Yeah. For the press conference, because I'm always super happy to see so many people interested in what we do and the way how we do it. So I was asked to give a little brief introduction and show something about the history of Truma, which I'm super happy to do. And we have here a couple of photos that show a little bit of the past. I won't go too much into it, but try to focus on the products that we also have in the focus later on, and where we had a little outlook as well in the end. So what you see here in the back, this gentleman is my grandfather. He used to run a language school in Munich after World War II, and he needed to find a solution to a problem, which was it got dark outside in winter, and he wanted to teach language also during the evenings for his night school. And there was no electricity, so the solution for him was to simply, well, take a gas lamp that he found in the basement of the building where the family lived back then, which wasn't functional, so he made it into a functional prototype, and it worked, and he put all these gas lights into his night school. There's one that we have. This is how it looks. I have to be very, very careful because it's one of the last ones that we have. And there's also no suppliers, for example, for these glass here. So he did that, and while he was running his language school at night, the neighbors came to him and asked not for language teaching, but for gas lamps, because they said, how come you have a very bright apartment, very bright rooms, and we don't? We also want light in the evenings. So his idea, or he recognized that there was a higher need for gas lamps than there was for learning English and French back then. So he pivoted his company, and he took all the people that produced, that taught language, so teachers, and he taught the teachers how to produce gas lamps. This was the very beginning 1949, and we got the first patent on the gas lamp in 1950, my grandfather, and that was how it all started. So started with a man in the dark and a good idea. He kept experimenting with gas, he kept experimenting with the burning of gas, which ultimately led to a heater. But the business really only started to pick up when he invented a heater for the first Caravan, which was in 1961, which you can see here, but which you can also see in the original version, right over there. It's called the Truma ist. You won't find kilowatts on it. It has about 1.4 kilowatts, but back then kilowatts wasn't the measurement for the heating power. This is the original. That's one of the last ones that we have. This was introduced in 1961, and then the first really successful product was introduced 6 years later in 1967, which was called the Truma S3000. 3.5 kilowatts. 3000 was also a different thing, was Wärmeeinheiten. So this is kilocalorie per hour, and then it's Wärmeeinheiten. So you see, it's really old stuff, way before standardization, but still very interesting. So here you see the heater that made this possible, which is winter camping. So we don't say this officially, but we think that we might have a very big part of the invention of winter camping, or to make winter camping possible, because back then it wasn't possible before. Alde had a heater in the Scandinavian countries in the same around the same time, but on the continental Europe we were the only ones. The heaters back then were still produced in this building, which was called Philipp Kreis Propangeräte, before we moved 1983 to our location where we are right now. Many of you, I think, have visited us, where we have the Rundbau and our innovation center and the cold chamber and everything. But before we moved, here you can see this is our first service vehicle, which was introduced in 1972, also by my grandfather. So my grandfather did a lot of things for the camping and caravanning industry. I think he introduced service, he introduced high quality heating. He also made sure that we have certification and, for example, the Gasprüfung, so that the vehicles that are equipped with gas heaters are safe and that nothing happens to the people that use it. Of course, it was beneficial for the Truma business as we had gas heaters, but it was also something that was very much in his focus, that everything our customers do is safe and that no one is ever hurt with or without the products that he introduced and produced. In 1988, then my mother took over. This is her in one of her early days. She put a lot of effort on, for example, modernizing the production. You see here, it's also from the 90s, a picture from the 90s, where I think the sea heater is produced. The sea heater is what you see here. This was a major breakthrough in 1994. The sea heater is kind of like the combi heater, but 90 degrees, turned 90 degrees, but it's the same concept, and it's the concept that is still realized in the combi heater, which was introduced 2007, so 13 years after the sea heater. Why I'm talking so much about heaters, this is of course where we come from, this is where we are super proud of. You can see the heater here right in the middle, you see the combi as part of the whole system on the right. And next year when I'll be standing here, we'll have something in the heating and hot water area to show you. We are very proud that we made a breakthrough in making the combi even better, which is super difficult. There's a lot of people that tried it. We don't think that they were successful with it. We also tried it, but we were successful, and in spring we can show something more about it, and I'm super excited to show you this and tell you more about it. But for this year we have a new Aventa, which my colleague Thomas will show you in a minute. You can see it right on the back here. The Aventa story in Truma started in the late 90s. It was, I think, 1997 or 1999 when we had the first product. That was still not good looking, not nice. It was kind of loud, and so it didn't live up to our expectations. But in 1999, we created our own, the Sapphire, which you see here. Also a great product. I like it. I have a van conversion, so a rooftop aircon is not the right product for my personal vehicle, so I have such a product and I'm absolutely loving it. So I can recommend it to everyone. Try it out. It's a different thing than the Aventa. But the customers demanded rooftop aircons, so we brought the first Aventa in 2007, which you still see here. And now we are very proud that we made a big step towards the future with the new Aventa, even lighter, more sustainable and everything. So I try not to spoil it, but it's a really, really cool product that you can see. So we seem to be in a phase of innovations and big products, and it's interesting to see when I look at the past that we always had phases with a lot of innovation, a lot of new products like the boiler, the thermal, the heaters that my grandfather did, and then some years where we did more like organizational development and things like that. The 90s were such a phase when, for example, my mother acquired the company Alde and made it part of her group, and built new facilities and everything. Because we not only focus on innovation, but we also try to always have a good campus and good workplaces and ergonomics and all these things. We got awarded in 2023 with the CIVD Silver Medal of Honor, which was a great honor for us because it was for our achievements for the caravanning industry, but also in regards to how we deal with our employees. And this makes us as a family business very proud, because it's really something we look for. As a family business, we try to combine innovation and responsibility all the time. So I want to briefly, like I did last year, tell you about the Truma Group Foundation. It's a foundation that my mother created in 2011, where we focus on social projects for children, for youth, and for families. I would really be pleased if you would go on the website and check the projects that we do there, and maybe write 1 or 2 sentences about it, because it's for us just as important as the business that we do in the caravanning industry. Yeah, that was my brief introduction. Now I hand over to Jesse again, and then we will hear about the new product lines, and then in the end Markus Heringer, the Truma MD, will give you another little outlook on something very exciting in the future.